Fabian, good morning.
Morning.
Danny Welbeck was in hospital in Newcastle last weekend. Is he okay to play in this game or not?
It's still too early to say if he can play or not, but he will train today, and then we will see it afterwards how this training session went, and then we will make a decision.
Can you say any more about the injury? It's a back problem, obviously. What's wrong?
In general, or with Danny?
With Danny.
Danny, I think he got a hit on his nerve, and then when you get a hit on the nerve, then you don't feel the leg for amount of time, and I think exactly this. What happened is very painful. It's still painful, but again, we have to make a check today in a training session, and then we have to make a lot of treatment for him. So I think our medical and our physios, they're working every hour with him together and to make him fit for the game, and this will be the challenge for us, but hopefully everything will be good.
Do you have any better injury news about Minter and also João Pedro? Are they okay?
With João, we have to be a little bit more patient, but I think there will be a comeback soon, but I can't say the exact date of the comeback. And with Mete, we have to go day by day. He has a small issue with his muscle after his international games with Gambia, and there we have to go day by day, and then we will look. But one thing is clear: we won't go any risk with the players, and we won't take any risk because it's still early in the season, and the hard period of the Premier League is still in front of us.
And of the others, is there any better news about Solly March, for instance, and Webster?
Yeah, Solly is back in training. With Adam, we still have to be patient. I think it takes 2-3 more weeks till he's back on a pitch. But he's very positive, and I think the injury is not that bad that we expect it to be. So yeah, we have small issues, but not big issues, and we have to deal with it. We have a great medical department. I have great physios. They're working day for day for the players. They try to bring their players back as quick as possible. I think every club has to deal with these small issues, and we also have to do it. So we try to think positive.
So Fabian, you've won your last 2 games. Wolves are bottom of the table. They haven't won a game all season. You've already beaten them in the Carabao Cup. This is a real chance for you, isn't it, this weekend?
Every game is a chance, but every game is hard in the Premier League. And one thing won't happen: we won't underestimate Wolverhampton, because when you see their games, first of all, they had a really tough schedule. So they had the tough games to the beginning of the season, and second of the truth is that they play well, and every game they had the chance to win the games as well, or to make a draw, and that's why we won't underestimate them. It will be a hard challenge. They have quality, they have individual quality. They changed now their formation to a back 5. They defended very compact against City. They have the individual players to make good transitions, with Semedo, with Nouri, with Cunha. Limina is a good ball carrier. Larsen is a good target player. So one thing won't happen, especially not in the Premier League, and that's what I learned, especially the first games. You can't underestimate any opponent. Every opponent has his quality, and you have to pay attention 90 minutes. You have to defend well against them. You have to be good in counter-pressing, and you have to make the next step as a team, and that's the challenge for us.
And they had an interesting game against Manchester City. What did you make of the City winner, which caused so much controversy, and also the fact that Gary O'Neill suggested that referees might have subconsciously a bias towards the big teams? Do you agree with that?
I'm not into this conversation. I think we have enough work with our team. We have enough work to focus on our development. In the end, I think that the referee, they try to give their best on the pitch. They try to be the best version of themselves, because in the end it's also good for their job. And I hope that every team is treated equal, is treated the same. That's what they promise me and the club, and that's why I trust them. And I hope that this this development, this is not the truth.
Just finally, you were superb to beat Tottenham coming from 2 goals down. You had to really dig in at Newcastle and grind out a win. You're showing different ways to win. I mean, how pleasing is that for you as a manager?
It's not always pleasing because it's also suffering a lot on the sideline. But what is special is like the character from the team. So if you come after 2-0 down back in a game against a top team, for me Tottenham is a top team. When you suffer together in Newcastle, where not a lot of teams are able to win, when you suffer together, when you don't concede a goal, then it shows for me that the character and that the personality from the team and the individual players, they are the right ones, and that's the most important. And then it's always to understand, especially for the mindset, that defense is the most important. If we don't concede a goal, if you're able to defend together, if the strike and offensive player understand that we are the first defender, then we always have the individual quality to score a goal out of nowhere. And I think this happens in the first half against Newcastle. We have to be honest to ourselves, and we were honest the first training days here, that we had to play better. We could play better than the first 30 minutes. We were not good in possession. We were a little bit too passive out of possession, but the positive thing is that we defended together, that we blocked a lot of shots, that we blocked a lot of crosses, that we suffered together, and then, like I said, we will get our chances, and then in the second half we showed a different face and we played much better.
Thank you.
Fabian, just on that, you said to me last week that you had to tighten up defensively. That was a key part of your strategy, I guess. After a 2-2, 2 3-2s and a 4-2, I guess, was a 1-0 away classic win a real boost for you as a manager to win that way?
Hopefully not only for me a boost, I think, or hopefully for the team, and hopefully also like the understanding I just mentioned, that defense in the end wins your championship, defense wins your games, and that's the most important. And again, to defend together is the most important, to have the right mindset. To win personal duels is defensively also very, very important. And these are all things where we try to put the focus on, not only after we concede a lot of goals from the preseason. It's a topic, but again, it takes time. It's a process. You can't turn it overnight, the mindset from the players, and that's why we are still in this process. We are still trying to improve some things. Now there's a different challenge. I think Wolverhampton, and we expected to have like more ball possession. We have to be better in counter pressing. We have to be good in the transition defensively. It's a new challenge when we compared with the games in Tottenham and Newcastle before, and that's why there are always new challenges, always things to improve, and that's what we try to do.
If Lewis Dunk plays on Saturday, it will be his 250th Premier League appearance.
Wow.
You obviously knew about Lewis before you came here, I'm sure. How would you say he compares working day to day with what you expected him to be like?
I didn't expect him to be like that competitive, and I think he's so experienced. It shows the number of games he already did in the Premier League, and he knows when he has to be there, and he knows when it's like game time, when it's match time, when I have to be prepared, and he listens so good to his body. But it doesn't mean that he only is there when it's match day, also during the week. He wants to win the small-sided games. He wants to push his teammates. And another thing, what is very impressive for me, is like that he sees this here like a family. So he's really like, he wants to chill with the kid man. He wants to chill with the chef, with the team manager. So he wants to spend time with the people. And he's not that player and person who says, okay, I have to do a job here and I'm gone as quick as possible. No, he wants to spend time here with the people. He really like identifies himself with the values from the club, and that's something what I didn't experience in that way, to be honest.
And because of those relationships that he has with other people, how important is your relationship with him?
Very, very important. And like I said, he's my captain, and he's one of my most important players, and also as a person very important, because he knows the club. He knows the values from the club. He knows the history from the club. He knows what it needs to be successful in the Premier League. So he has all the knowledge, and I'm new here, and I can also learn a lot from him. And that's why it has to be like a good exchange. It has to be like a trustful exchange. It has to be an exchange where we also can be honest to each other to say the opinion when something went wrong. And you have to build this trustful relationship. It won't come overnight. It's like in a relationship with a girl, yeah. It doesn't come with the first date. It doesn't come with the second date. It comes time then by time when you game for the trust, when you experience things together, when you make memories together, then you gain like the trust, and you can't increase it with artificial things, and that's why it's time by time. But I'm very happy that he's my captain.
Evan Ferguson made his first Premier League start for you at Newcastle, obviously coming back from injuries. How effectively can you see him dovetailing in your system with the likes of Danny Welbeck and João Pedro and the other attackers?
Yeah, Evan is in a great shape, to be honest. So mentally and also physically. Of course, the game against Newcastle wasn't that easy for him, but like he defended defensively, like he worked for the team was impressive. I think that's a very positive point, and that's also what I give him as a feedback. Of course, in possession, and I think the players they know it on their own the best that they can do it better. But for me, I judge them by the things he can influence, and that is like how he reacts when we lose the ball, how he supports his teammates defensively, and there he showed a really good performance. And now it's also up to us to give him the right advices, to give him the right training sessions, to give him the right ball touches on the pitch to improve him, to get the confidence back after his long injury, and then I'm sure that he will be back to his shape and even better soon.
Just finally, after this game, you've got Liverpool twice and then Manchester City. Is it hard to block that out, that's coming in the future?
So we play the next game against Wolverhampton. That's the only focus I have. Honestly, for me, there are no easy games, and all the games are different. All the games are challenges, and that's why I'm really not focusing on Liverpool or on City. I'm really focusing on Wolverhampton, and it will be a big challenge, and there we have to prepare with all our focus, with all our thoughts.
Thanks, Fabian.
Fabian, Igor has come into the side, played quite a lot of minutes the last couple of games. Is it a nice headache to have with Jan-Paul van Hecke coming back from injury? But could you assess his performances in the last couple of weeks and what he's brought to the side?
Very difficult situation for Igor, coming in a game against Tottenham where the team suffered the first minute, and then he came in and we conceded the goals. But then to show reaction, and then to be there and show personality, not hiding, and that's something special, and he exactly showed this. So he was not hiding to get the ball, he was not hiding to go in duels, and then he played a great second half against Tottenham. He played now a good game against Newcastle, and I wasn't surprised by this because I see him every training session, and he's like an amazing professional player. He always wants to give the best. He always wants to be the best version of himself, and that's very impressive. And that's why you always get what you deserve, and he gets what he deserved this 2 games. And now it's a decision we have to do. We also have to see that we have now 3 games in a short period of time. So I'm sure we need every player, and every player will get his game time, and that's what I also will say to the team. So everyone has to prepare, that he has to be ready on Saturday, that he has to be ready the next games, and that we need every player, and we have not that big squad at the moment, so we really have to stay together. We really have to create this bond to each other, and therefore we need a Igor in his best version, and that's what he presented the last games and weeks here.
Alongside him was Ferdi Kadioglu. Do you start to see him maybe starting to feel more comfortable at the club as time goes on, and him playing more after his initial couple of games?
Yeah, it's like important to always get the feeling from the players and the thoughts from the players, how they feel and how they adapt to the Premier League. And it's also important to understand from outside that the Premier League has a different intensity, and they didn't experience it in their leagues before. Of course, maybe there are different challenges in the other leagues, but the biggest challenge here in the Premier League for these new players is like the intensity, and it's like that there are not a lot of breaks, so it can go in this and in that direction, a lot of transition moments, a lot of counter-pressing moments, and you always have to be ready. You can't switch off for a second, and this is mentally like hard, but also physically hard, and therefore we need to prepare the players. And 30, when you talk to him, he said he's suffering in some moments of the game, but he made now 2 games for the Turkish team. He made now 1 whole game for us against Newcastle, so 90 minutes, and now it's all step by step, and he adapted better and better by time, and that's why I'm very happy in which shape he's at the moment, and I think he gets to his best shape the next weeks.
Just finally, the structure of the side was slightly different against Newcastle. And I know there was no Minte, there was no Mitoma in the starting 11, but just could you talk us a little bit through the thought process of why you changed it and whether that's something you'll continue to consider?
Like you said, so of course when Minte and Mitoma on the pitch, it's a different formation because in the end you have to bring the players in their best areas and the best spaces where they can show the whole potential. So that's, I think, the job from us as the coaches. But on the other side, of course, you always have like ideas in preparation for the opponents. You always see maybe some gaps, maybe some weaknesses from the opponent where we want to use it, and then you also position your players in these gaps and try to first use their potential, but second also try to use the weakness from the opponent to increase the percentage of scoring. And there always be like some ideas. I have like great analysts who work really hard to prepare the game very well, and I think that's very important. That's always like a work of togetherness, and then an exchange, which player are the fittest player at the moment, which player are in a good shape physically and mentally, and maybe where's also like the weakness from the opponent.